The devil wants to keep the church at a shameful place. The church was never supposed to be beggars. They were never supposed to be borrowers. The church was never supposed to be sick. Don't let anybody tell you it's the will of God for you to got any sickness. That is not God's will. Where God left the holy heavens to come down on earth so that he can be embarrassed, whipped and scourged, spit upon. Are you telling me it's the will of God for me to have cancer? It's the will of God for my house to be broken up? It's the will of God for my kids to walk out of my home? That's not the will of God. Let me tell you what's the will of God for you. The will of God is that you prosper and be in good health. The will of God is that you have joy. The will of God is that you have peace. The will of God is that you are a giver. You're a lender. The will of God is that you didn't pay cash for the house, but you own it. The will of God is that you didn't pay cash for the car, but you have it. That's the will of God. That when you stand up there, you're witnesses. How can the church be witnesses? We are witnesses with the testimonies that God gave us. You can't go tell nobody I'm a witness of God and they are still going on. Well, I'm sick and I broke up and my husband left me and my picnic them bad and this happened to me. What kind of witness is that? That is not a witness that God wants to give you. It's a life on the pit of hell. Let me tell you something. God is about to fight for the church. He's about to bring deliverance to the church. He's about to bring healing to the church. When God shows up, he says when he shows up, the devil got to flee. It's not the will of the church for you to be popping tablets to get some sleep. It's not the will of the church. It's not the will of God for you to can't find rest. It's not the will of God that when you open your fridge, there is nothing there. Don't let no demon, no devil, nobody tell you it's the will of God for that to happen. The church has come to a place where they don't hear the love of God and the mercies of God and the goodness of God. You know what we're hearing now? We're hearing throw a seed, and this is the amount that you gotta throw before you can get blessing. But what gonna happen if I ain't got a seed? No blessings? Hey, I don't know what God you serve, but my God is if I ain't got nothing he give to me. God is saying the church has come to a place where people are telling you, you got a gift to take care of your God. And God said, that's not who he is. He takes care of his children. You ain't got to come and bring nothing to give God because God's short. You give to God because God dropped it in your spirit. And because he's been so good to you, you just want to give back to him. But you don't have to pay God. You don't have to pay God for anything. God does it because he loves you. God delivers because he loves you. This is not what God is talking. And unless the church get that revelation of who God is, that he is somebody that cleans you up when you make a mess. He's somebody that saves you when you're lost. He's somebody that heals you when you're sick. He's your provider, your way maker. He's your burden bearer, your yoke destroyer. He's a friend that's sticking closer than a brother. He's your family. He's your all and all. He says the steps of a righteous man, they're ordered by the Lord. You know why they're ordered by the Lord? Because he knows where your blessing is. He knows where your joy is. He knows where your peace is. So if your steps are not being ordered by the Lord, and if the devil is telling you a lie, you better rebuke the demon. And you better move as God says move. You better move how he says move. Because if the church is going to be blessed, the church got to move. You see, we can't be stagnant and get our blessings. We can't be stink in one place. Because he said in his words, he said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. Which means if the enemy is advancing, we can't stand up. It means we got to move forward. And we got to know that God is the mighty battle axe. And we got to know when we're moving forward, God is in front of us. God is behind of us. He's at the side of us. He's at the top of us. He's at the bottom of us. So no demon can touch you. There is not going to be a way where the enemy can come in. Because when God is leading the battle, you are already victorious. We come here Sunday after Sunday and we listen to testimonies and we listen to testimonies. But God is saying the testimonies are going to come out of this church yet, going to blow some of your minds. He said this church is going to bring glory to him. Because when people hear what happened in your life, you see the devil thought that he was going to break you. The devil brings some of y'all to some places that this year you said, Lord, I don't think I can make it. But God says in his word, he knows your frame. He knows how much you can handle. So when the devil was applying pressure to the church, it was just so the church can get strong in the Lord. So now that the church is at a place where the blessings is going to come, the devil can't touch you anymore because God is about to step in. We already been through that test. mess. We already had the mess. It's time for the testimonies. It's time for the message. It's time for God to show up in this place.